Right. We are live. Yeah, this is live. We are live. Alright. I need to come in, but we're not gonna wait. This ain't church. But definitely. So what's going on, guys? It's your boy Klaus. I am King Klaus. We're definitely having a positive movement. My boy Chalmers just dropped one of the hottest songs out. We had a big video where, my collection, my clothing company, was definitely get exposed, and it's all about catching your dreams, and that's our whole thing, our movement. Where we come from is pretty rough. Wasn't a lot of role models, So I definitely want you guys to follow 2020 KOD Apparel. I got the lovely Michelle with me. We're going to go straight into health. And the reason why I focus on health, because I know a lot of you guys may know me for maybe credit, financial literacy. But one of the things I used to tell a lot of people that maybe I'll sign up a mentor, I tell them, nah, credit is just something I use as a financial door. That is one of the things that to me was about health, my financial health, because when you have bad credit, homie, your mental health is always messed up. You're afraid of people who gonna find you because you ain't pay nobody. You're afraid of people, who may, be, looking for you, so you be, looking in the bushes like, okay. Now, all jokes aside, so we're definitely gonna have a great topic. As you know, this is a state of emergency for me. I've been watching the news, and I feel like, our culture is going in a good way, in a good shift. However, I feel like as the young people, because we're about to be the elders, we're about to be, some of us already dad mamas, but it's about to be our turn. And we got to deal with everything that, our ancestors or our grandparents dealt with. And this is why I had to, have a call to action. So this is a topic on a discussion on the current health of the culture. So, as you guys know, I actually love the culture. I may speak out against it sometimes, and it's all out of love, just because when I was growing up, I was seeing Tupac, Biggie, and I loved it. I was young, I was impressionable. I thought that's how you should act, and although there's some good stuff in the culture, there's a lot of pros. I feel like, we need balance. There's nothing wrong, with a little rashness every now and then. You having fun to turn up, but sometimes you have to turn down. Sometimes you got to get serious and realize, okay, there's more ways to get money than just what you see on TV or music. You can get it that way, but as we know, for the majority of people, they usually get what? Either caught, dead, or in jail. Let's just keep it 100, and when they do come back, they're usually not on that no more. Or if they are on that, they're usually on probation, and we call that the system. And I know a lot of us may have, a brother, a sister, a sibling, a cousin, a parent who's been, in that system. So here's a brief introduction about me. I talked a little about credit, but I also have a background in mental health. I've counseled people from all ages, races, religious backgrounds, and I had a lot of fun and expertise. So here we also have Michelle. You can give a little intro on why exactly you started your mental health career and your journey, and a little bit of your credentials.
Hello, everybody. I am Michelle Ranglin. I am a social worker. I am a therapist. I have a lot of different aspects about me. I graduated from FAMU, got my master's degree from FIU, and I'm working on my license currently. So I'm excited to be here. I started mental health. It was just by coincidence, honestly, to do social work. I was going to be a teacher, but I was like, this is not for me. Let me switch over to social work. And I just fell in love with it. And I just decided to keep growing in my, in my career. And now I'm here with you.
Fantastic. So I want to say shout out to the ladies, especially the black women.
Yes.
I feel like, sometimes the culture, we may bash them and, degrade them, but not all of us. I feel like we got to be proud of our women, and they're not perfect. There's good and bad, but, as they say, some of them are very educated, very eloquent, and, take very good care of themselves, and you're in a relationship with them, they'll take good care of you. You do right now. Do right. So,
say something.
And that piggyback off what I was going to talk about. I think one thing in mental health that we don't talk about as a mental health advocate and worker myself, so many times, we have this bravado in our culture. We don't need no man. I'm strong. I'm independent. Then you got on the fellas. I'm a real you-know-what. I'm a killer. I'm a gangster. I'm this, I'm that. And what I learned from, just working with different people in the community, through my different businesses of counseling people, a lot of people struggle in the dark. Depression is one, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. I actually had a video about that where, I talked about it because I feel like it's so important that we're not scared as a culture to talk about suicide, because there's been a lot of rap artists and a lot of hip hop with a lot of killings. So from suicide to us, beefing over nothing, and it's so crazy that our communication skills between each other is, how can I say this? It's just dysfunctional sometimes. Like, it's anything that can trigger us, and even as a man growing up as a black man, trying to find yourself in your identity can get kind of confusing of exactly how to handle conflict and confrontation. So as a woman, how can you see it from your perspective, especially when you're dealing with your clients? I'm pretty sure you have come across from arguments and different crazy cases where maybe someone yelled at, they threatened them, or actually, assaulted somebody. How do you deal with that, and what do you think is the biggest issue within our community when those things happen?
I think, yes, music plays a part of it, and I think the bigger picture is that the way how the upbringing. So if we're listening to a certain type of music and we're around a certain type of thing, and our only upbringing is that we have to go out there and hustle, or we have to go out there and get the money, or whatever it may be to provide for your family, I feel like that all plays a part with what's going on. And I think a lot of the times depression and the suicide comes with people put so much on themselves that they're trying to please, either it could be their spouse, it could be their family, it could be friends, it could be anybody, but sometimes they forget about themselves because they're trying to please everybody. So I think all of the culture, our upbringing, just trying to be, as an adult, trying to grow up in the world and trying to find ourselves, all of that plays a part. And I think a lot of the time people lose themselves in the whole midst of just growing up. They forget about themselves, and that's how sometimes a lot of the mental health and stuff starts playing a part.
And exactly, because we just had a situation with Kanye West. Shout out to him becoming, one of the wealthiest black men ever in America. So shout out to that. But we can also see he has mental health issues, and although he says bipolar is a superpower, we also can see it has cost him his marriage, his happiness, because he doesn't look like Ye in the past. Like, I was just watching the documentary on Netflix, and he just doesn't look the same. And this is why it's important that, especially as black people, we advocate for mental health, because I don't know about you, but growing up, there was no such thing as a therapist. Just go to church, read your Bible, which is good, and those things help. But sometimes you need to listen to a professional, because you understand there's a reason God created certain positions. You understand? God created a carpenter for a reason, to create something. When you want to go to a plumber, you're not going to someone who cut grass. No, you want that specific person with that purpose. So I feel like we gotta not be afraid to talk about, our mental health. And sometimes, money feels good, like she was stating. And it feels good to hustle. It's a good thing, because we know we live in a system where you need money. However, we got to have a bigger purpose, because a lot of times, including me, sometimes you get trapped. You get trapped in the materialistic things, trying to cover everything to make yourself feel good for the moment. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with getting some Gucci, okay? But the materialism doesn't always heal what's there. Sometimes we can be broken and we don't even realize. A lot of us grow up in situations where we never saw a healthy relationship from our mom and father. So when we go out in the real world, we're just attracting these bad, broken people, and we're trying to put the pieces together. And I feel like this is why therapy is so important, for you to really find yourself, fix yourself, and get whole. Because when you're whole, yes, you may attract broken spirits, but this time you'll be able to walk away and say, you know what, although I like this person may not be right for me in my timing because my goals and where I'm trying to go in life doesn't align with them. So I may like you, but right now this may not be the best thing for me. Like a Sierra, for example. I mean, I'm pretty sure Future, I'm straight now. I'm not against the gays, but he's not a bad looking dude. He has a lot going for himself. But however, I believe that as she got older, she started to grow and realize that just having fun and having a dude that almost every woman wants doesn't automatically mean he's a good lifetime partner. And I feel like that's something in our culture we got to talk about because so many people criticize Future. But I think, I believe his name's Kevin, he said it best, but why do women keep going on the video? He's such a bad dude. Why do I keep getting pregnant? And we just got to realize that's the culture. Like, women like a Pacific man, and you can't get mad about it. You can learn, and most women, at least from my experience and research, when they're young, they're a little bit more experimental. They're experimental, just like the young men. They want to learn. And some people learn the hard way. Some people learn the easy way. But we can't judge nobody on their journey. We can only pray for them and say, hey, this is the right way. We always young, and we all made our mistakes, beat our head, or, did something stupid. But eventually we got it, right? Hopefully y'all got it out there, right? Y'all got it. So I'll let you chime in. What do you think about, just the relationship aspects of black men, black women, or just the relationship period? Because as you know, the divorce rate is going up. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but I used to be on the shade room lurking. No, don't judge me. And I'll always see couple goals. And I'd be like, couple goals? Why the hell y'all following these people? These people got the same problems you got. But I ain't judged. That was the thing. But I'm looking at all these celebrity couples, and I don't know, have you noticed, but the divorces is just like coming left and right. Why do you think there's such a hard, just from your perspective of dealing with, because I know as a therapist you would deal with different people, see the relationship issues, and you'll see even domestic abuse, and you'd be like, damn, she's still staying with him? Or the next time she'll be like, it'll be one little thing and she's just gone.
So in reference to relationship, what I have learned is that it's complicated. It's complicated. We as people want to be loved. We genuinely want to be affectionate to someone. We want somebody to be there for us, to love us, and to make sure they call us and say, are you okay? Or is everything fine? However, I think we get blinded. What I have learned, we get blinded in this facade of love, and we forget what we want as a person. So you made a comment in reference to we trying to find who we want, or you learn who you want. I think that's very powerful, because a lot of the times we get into relationships with people hoping that we could put our expectations on them and hoping that they would change. And then when they don't change, that's when the friction starts to happen. So it's like, the frictions comes in many different forms. So I think that's the biggest thing that I try to preach to my clients, is that try to find someone, or if they are in a relationship, try to find a middle ground and try to find if you guys been together for a while, maybe you guys need to come back together. That's why people renew their vows, even though divorce rates are high. That's why people renew their vows, because they try to, reconnect that love. But maybe you have to come back with your partner, figure out what's the problem, figure out where's the conflict is coming from, and then go from there. A lot of times when there are conflicts, the damage that happens, like the action, okay? For example, you and your partner could be arguing about something, and you guys said some verbal words to each other. You forgot about what y'all was fighting for, but you remember every verbal word that they said to you. So what is the purpose of the argument now? What are you guys fighting about? You lost the whole purpose of the argument, and now you're onto something else, and it just keep going and keep going and keep going and cause more damage, more damage, more damage. So I feel like, one, before getting in a relationship, figure out who you are as a person, figure out what you want from a person, and be able to articulate what that looks like and what that feels like for you. If somebody doesn't meet your criteria, you don't have to have a long list of criteria. I have heard crazy type of, unrealistic criteria, but there are people who genuinely just want to be loved. And there's other men and women that wants the same thing too, but it's just finding the person. And then in reference to dating, I feel like in order to learn, you have to experience, right? You have to go through experience in order to learn. So if you don't learn what you like or what you don't like, you're never able to articulate it. Because a lot of times in the Black community, we're not raised with this perfect home or this, this couple to look up to. Some people praise other couples. That's why on the Shade Room there's couple alerts, because people look up to that. They look happy. They look, they living a good life. People want that. People want the good life.
He's spinning that bag.
People want it's that part, but that person, they're happy. So a lot of the time people love that and they want to emulate that type of behavior. But sometimes realistically, you don't have that type of money yet. You don't have that type of luxury yet. So you should be able to use what you have to make your partner happy. And I think a lot of the times with social media now and, the music videos and things like that, people start to forget about that. But I think if we as people could get back to the basic of what love looks like, what relationships looks like, what a family looks like, I think we will be able to, thrive a little bit better.
Wow. That was amazing. She dropped some gems now. Remember, this is a professional, and they pay her now to teach you these stuff. So, guys, you got to thank me and appreciate me for giving this type of value out, because one thing I will say is social media and television and radio, as great as it can be as a technology uses, to me, it kind of has its pros and cons, because as she stated, it can kind of brainwash you to make you believe that you need this life in order to be happy. Before Sierra was Sierra, she was just a young girl just trying to make it. Before Beyonce was Beyonce, she was just a young girl trying to make it. I see, and I'm not judging you if you have a fake body, just don't throw no rocks. But you gotta understand, that's not real. Like, yeah, it's cool to get it, but at the end of the day, yeah, you may get more attention from the opposite sex or the same sex. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that your life not gonna have similar issues, because we're too focused on the vain part. And just being vain and just wanting people for what they have or how they look like, trust me, it's a headache. Because once you get that person that you always wanted, and you realize what this is about, relationship is give and take. It ain't just take, or the relationship isn't going to work. As a man or a woman, you have to be able to give. And sometimes you don't have to give money. It can be your time. It could be your knowledge, your wisdom. It could just be a hug. It could just be words of encouragement. It could just be a good idea. It could just be support. It could just be being there or being loyal. And I know, especially with the culture, you hear so much negative stuff. And I agree. As people, especially in the Black community, we got to grow. And we only going to grow from having discussions like this. And I wanted to say another thing. How do you think gender roles play a big part? Because one of the biggest issues, as I stated before, growing up as a man, I could just see it from a woman now, because I'm getting older, I could realize. How do you think that played a part? Because me as a man trying to learn, like I said, if you act a certain way, you're called soft. If you don't have this money or chain, you're considered lame. If you're too squarish, if you want to go the different way. And it's so much gender roles. It's, even as women, like gender roles, like, if you're not in the club twerking, don't throw no rocks. You may not be lit, or if you're not dating all the men and you just want to, stick to your values or traditions, or maybe it's the other way. Maybe you don't like the gender roles where you got to cook clean, or, you need to be married at this age. How do you think gender roles play a part in just the relationships of today?
As a relationship with, like, a man and a woman?
Yeah.
I think, this is a good question. I think we are to a point now where women are taking the lead in a lot of things, meaning job-wise, money-wise, being an entrepreneur, taking care of the house, doing X, Y, and Z. So women are taking control, in my opinion. Women are taking control, and I don't think it's not by default, like it's just men just doesn't want to do anything or anything like that. I think that women now have more of the opportunity to do what they want to do now. They're able to thrive more. They're able to see what different avenues they could go. They're able to see, okay, let me do X, Y, Z, take care of my kids. I could get back to this. Like, now they're able to juggle a lot of different things. And I think the gender role, there are some men who are intimidated by a woman who knows how to take control. There are some men who allows their woman to take control. I feel that if you're going to be in a relationship, and we as women, I'm I know all the women out there, or most of us, we want somebody that's going to protect us and love us and be, you know, the breadwinner in the relationship. However, and, you know, make more than their husband. But if a man know how to say, okay, babe, I know that you make more money than me. I'm okay with that. I'm still going to make sure I take care of X, Y, and Z. It's like compromise. Like, you have to compromise. Like,
I hear that.
And in reference to gender roles, like, if it's, you know, when things start going the opposite way and when the women start doing more than one, woman feels like you're the man in the relationship. So you should be, you know, taking up. You should be doing this. But that doesn't mean that degrade me or make me feel lower because I'm doing better or I make more money than you. That's not, we don't want that. We know we making more money to provide for our family. That's the end goal. The end goal is to provide as much money for our family to make our man comfortable as possible, right? But sometimes men doesn't like that. Oh, you're in control too much. You're in control. There's ways to balance, you know, check and balance. It goes with the relationship. Check and balance goes with the relationship. Yeah. Like if I'm strong suit in one end, like, okay, for example, if I go to, this is my opinion, people, my opinion. If I go to work every day and I'm bringing in the bills, I would, as my husband, if you are able to, okay, I'm going to pick up the kids. I'm going to take out dinner so when you get home it's already, you know, ready for you to start cooking. I'm going to make sure those little things in the home are taken care of so that I know that you're working hard and I know that you're doing these other stuff, but the balance is I'm helping you over here too. It's not, oh, you're making money, so I'm the woman, I have to cook, clean, and take care of the kids, do the laundry, everything. No. If I'm doing all of that, then where are you falling in that?
Ooh.
Like, where are you falling in that?
Ooh.
It can't be like that.
I see why when I posted, I was like, damn, where are the lights? I see, because she was going to come hit you.
I think it can be that it has to be a balance. Like, I've learned, I'm not in a relationship right now, so I'm not, you know, I'm speaking off of experience and what I would want in a future relationship. That I just would want balance, check and balance. Like, it's not about who makes the most money or who has the biggest car or whatever the case may be. If we're in a relationship, we're in this together. And the goal is to elevate ourselves and elevate our life so that we could be able to grow. You want to grow in a relationship, right? I'm a water you, you water me, and we grow together, right?
Either growing together or growing apart.
That's it.
So, with you saying that, I think this is important because what about the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett? Because on paper, what you're saying, it will be 100%, and this is why I love psychology so much, is because there's always exceptions to the rules, and there's a reason why certain things happen. Now, I can go into depth, but I don't think y'all ready for that history lesson. But I want to ask you, what about the Will Smith and Jada? Because here you have, like you just said, a man who does the check and balance. He does everything that society says a man is supposed to do. He protects, he provides. He even is the type of guy where even when a woman does something that's disrespectful, he's the type, which is different than how most black men are taught, he's the type to say, you know what, you're right. It was my ego. Oh man, you know, I'm so sorry. Like, there was a video going around where they stated that Jada was 37 and Will had in his mind on her 40th birthday for, he said midlife crisis, don't quote me, but he said midlife crisis for her 40th birthday. I'm gonna give us the biggest party. They say he spent hundreds of thousands, got Mary J. Blige, just everything to make this woman happy. Everything TV tells you, you know, work hard, you know, you got this queen, elevator, put her on a pedestal, but she tells him that you did it all for your ego. How do you think that correlates with gender roles? Because here you have a man who's not following gender roles and trying to do the checks and balances. But there's a lot of guys like that. That's why they're making fun of Will, because there's a lot of Will Smiths right now. You judging that man, but you be doing worse. that girl that hit you up, asked you for the cash out for $600. You didn't take a date, you didn't give her $600. So you just like Will. So don't try to judge that man.
So I personally haven't seen the videos or been reading too much on Will and Jada, or know the history. I don't know. But from the question that you asked me, from the outside looking in, it appears to me is that Will, he loves his, I won't say his ego. Let me try to word this right. The way how he loves very hard. He loves, when he loves, he has to show his love. He has to show that I love you no matter what. I'm going to give you the world no matter what, because I don't want no other man to give that to you. So I'm going to give you the world. And Jada's probably looking at him like, babe, we could just go to Bahamas and we'll be okay. And he's like, no, it's your 40th. I want to do it big. I want to do it, because you're my wife. So if somebody sees you and I don't do something for your 40th birthday, it's going to look bad on me. because I love you, so I'm gonna do it big for you. So I think that's why Jada possibly, I don't know, possibly said his ego, because sometimes as women we don't want that. We don't need the lavish. We don't need the the fanciness. Yes, there are women out there who loves that. They appreciate that. They are, I would recommend anybody who don't know their love language to search what your love language is, because that's how somebody should express how they feel to you. But I feel that's possibly why she says his ego is because sometimes we don't want all of that. We just want, to spend quality time. Like, time is very valuable to me. I preach it all the time, because I see when you wake up to the time you wake up until you go to sleep, like, it's always something to do. But sometimes we just want to be with our person and probably just sitting there and just enjoying each other's company. So I think that's probably where the ego falls in. And I think also because they are celebrities, they are very known, big celebrities, they will have to be the protector, because he doesn't want to look less than a man. He doesn't want to look to see, oh, that's Jada and Will is just allowing something like that to happen. And Jada's like, well, he wants to do it, so I'm just going to let him do it. Why fight my man? If I know this is him, why fight him?
All right, so I just want to make this clear, fellas. Y'all be training y'all ladies to want lavishness. And, when you put a woman on a certain level, you can't get mad now when you're treating her a certain way. And then later on, you stop. So I just wanted to piggyback, because I feel like gender roles do play a part. And she's right, fellas. If you want natural balance, yeah, I know I read up on history. It wasn't fair how they treated black men. It wasn't fair that, they gave privileges and things. But at the end of the day, bro, you have to be a man. Meaning that you got to stand up for what you want to believe, what you want. You may have some tears. You may get, people flaking on you, people doing you wrong. But as a man, you got to realize, as I stated in my other video, How to Become a High Value Man, you got to focus on your purpose. You got a mission. There's something that God created you for. And there's a reason why God is allowing the man to fall. Trust me. Usually if you read scripture, forgive me now, I'm going in. But if you read scripture, usually when there's something bad, where it's a famine or curses, it's because somebody was disobedient to the order that God wanted. He said, if you don't want to listen like a father, cool. But watch what happens. It's like when you don't listen to your dad, and your dad said, do this, do that, do that. Yeah, sometimes as a man, you got to go after your dream, but a lot of the tips he's giving you is because he wants to protect you. Because it's just a natural instinct for men to want to protect. And I wanted to piggyback off the Will and Jada too, and understand that men, if a man makes a joke about your woman, I think the reason why Will went so ham is because he had a lot of hurt inside. And that was just like a balloon. When you keep blowing air in balloon, because, as men, we're so taught so young to keep everything in. That's why, we have man caves. So we're taught to keep everything in, and, you can only take so much. And this is why I preach therapy. Working on your mental health is very important, because the thing about a mental health, you can't really see that first. Yeah, you can look at somebody's eyes, you can see their body language, but people can put a mask and just go on. But like I said, I'll probably do more research on it. I heard he went to a rehab, but I can't listen to something like that until I do my real research and do my due diligence before I give misinformation. So definitely go ahead.
I want to say something in reference to purpose. I think purpose, a lot of people lose what their purpose is, because we go through life and there's so many changes, life events, life disasters, things just happen, and that we have to change our purpose. But sometimes we forget to go back in line with our purpose. We just go with the flow of life and just keep going and keep going and keep going. And then by the time you're like, oh, I'm 30. Oh, I'm 40. Like, what am I doing here? Like, where's my house? Where's my job? Where's my career? Where's my family? And sometimes I tell my clients that all the time, that stop forgetting about yourself. Like, don't forget about yourself in the mix. In the midst of chaos, do not forget about yourself. Because once you do forget about yourself, the chaos will continue and you will get lost in the sauce. So it's up to you to find your purpose and remain focused on your purpose. And don't get discouraged when your purpose starts to change, because that's life. Life changes, just like the leaves every day. They change, they grow, they come back, and they flourish again. Purpose, that's your same purpose. You may finish one of your purpose and then you're like, whoa, I'm really good at this. Let me continue on. Let me get to the next level of this. So remaining and the fact of your purpose is very, very important. I tell my clients that all the time because I feel that's a lot of time when my clients come to me, they're like, I don't know what to do. I feel so lost. I have a lot of anxiety about things that's going on. But it's like, okay, what are you doing for yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? What are you doing to making sure that you are just the same amount of time you give to everybody else? Why aren't you giving it to yourself? So what is your purpose? Like, what are you doing to help yourself? So I tell my clients that all the time. So I think purpose is huge.
Whoa! She's spitting hot fire.
God damn. I'm getting a little heated now. That's just a light. But to piggyback off you, all jokes aside, that's where we go next, which is wellness. One of the things about getting on your purpose, when I started getting on my purpose, man, I gained a lot of weight. Before COVID, I was already getting up there. But when COVID hit, it was just like, I got so focused on my purpose and so determined, my health started going down. And this is one of the reasons why I call it a discussion on the current health of the culture, because we're always taught to chase money, but I'm learning you gotta learn how to attract the money. And one of the things I'm doing differently this year is focusing on looking better, man. Because when you look good, you feel good.
Yes.
You can finally go in your closet and wear some clothes you could have wear a couple of years or months ago. And when you're more confident, you're gonna attract more money. Why? You're gonna have more people coming to you, especially on your purpose, but you taking good care of yourself now. Who's that? So you have more people coming to you, more opportunities. You're probably going to be more confident about certain things because you have a stronger belief system because you can accomplish. So this is going to be our next thing, as I say, fitness. One of the things that I really wanted to do this one is because, man, in the culture, like I said, it's just about, looking good and feeling good and just buying a whole bunch of materialistic things. You got to get the Beamer, the Benz. You got to get the Lamborghini yours. You got to get that. You got to get the nice, crib, even though you're renting and leasing, spending a lot of money, then you got to flex on the gram. You got to flex on the gram. But I'm learning, although that's good, you got to get happy, right? You got to get your body right because you're working so hard. You want to see your fruits of your labor, but you want to look good too. You want to be confident. So our next thing is going to be about fitness. And we have, yes, she's a therapist, but she also told me a powerful testimony. And man, I was so inspired because I'm on the same trajectory, which is I've lost over 30 pounds. I'm trying to lose 40 pounds. So, I felt kind of bad because it hurt me so bad because I was a guy who had the six pack, I feel like that was my humbling. I finally got humbled. As they used to say, I'm cocky. I don't think I'm cocky. I'm just confident. I just believe in myself. But to be honest, to be transparent, I gained a lot of weight. And I wasn't too, I look at my face, but overall, I wasn't too, thrilled of how it looked because I know I can do better. So can you give us a little testimony on what made you lose the weight, how much weight you lost, and talk about your entrepreneur business? Because, yes, this is why, when she was coming at you guys talking about, if you want me to cook clean, you need to understand at the end of the day, you better step it up if you want it with me because I have my own already. So if you want to be intimidated, that's on you. But she wants a real man. And when I ain't talking about the real man, talking about I'll pay all the bills. Yes, you go pay all the bills, but she's talking more than just a real man. She's talking about a man who's a leader, who's going to be there to support. And a lot of men get it confused. When she means protection, she doesn't mean protect physically. Yeah, that's cool, but you got to protect a woman, her emotions. You feel me? She's like a river.
I sound like somebody who know how to massage my brain. Like if you can't massage my brain, then it's not gonna work for me. I just need somebody to massage my brain. So in reference to my journey, I started in 2018. I was getting out of a relationship. I gained some love weight, I guess. I looked at myself and I did not like myself. I just was not happy. I was not pleased. So I told myself, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to lose this weight. So the way how I started my business, which is 3L waist beads, I sell waist beads. I went to a salon and a young lady was there, was like, do you want some waist beads? And I said, sure. So when she put the waist beads on me, she asked me if I wanted it for weight loss or if I wanted it just to wear it. And I told her I wanted it for weight loss. So when I got home that day, I have a picture of it too. I got home and I said, Michelle, you are going to lose this weight. Like I told myself I was going to lose this weight and I made a commitment to myself. Fast forward to a whole year later, I lost over 50 pounds. Simply just from no surgery, no crazy diets, no detox, none of that. I just simply found a school that was near my house. I walked the school 10 times, about 3 to 4 times a week. And then my brother was like, if you keep going this route, you're gonna, your skin is gonna start sagging and all this stuff. So he said, he gave me a routine. I kept that routine for another year, and I just kept it going. I made it a lifestyle. I literally made it a lifestyle. And I told myself that once I lost the weight, I told myself I am never going back, like never going back. So I just kept it going. It's been one of the best decisions of my life. I think that was one of the hardest commitment that I ever have to do, and commitment that I'm still doing, but I enjoy it. I enjoy working out. I enjoy eating healthy. I don't think, eating whatever you want let me go back. I eat whatever I want, but I eat it in moderation. Like, I don't pig out. I don't eat McDonald's every week. I barely do that. Like, I eat,
Talk about you.
I make it my treat. Like, if I haven't, like, I love fries. Before me losing the weight, I love fries, and I said I have to cut out fries because the oil that's in the fries, the potato, is starch, it's sugar, it stays in your stomach, and it makes you get bigger. That's how you get bigger. Alcohol, I had to cut out alcohol. I only was drinking on the weekend. I know we ladies love wine when we come home from work and we want the wine and stuff like that. However, I had to make the conscious decision. Whatever you put in your body is what stays in your body. The ultimate goal is whatever you put in your body wanted to come out your body. So, fibers, the leaves and stuff like that, might get into that, but that's the ultimate goal. And I kept that with me. And I do not bash anyone who does diets or anything like that. I did intermediate fasting. That worked for me. Me not knowing that I was doing that, I used to go to work, maybe have like something really light, and then I don't eat for the whole day until I get home. Not even knowing that I'm doing intermediate fasting, and that's how I was losing the weight. I make conscious effort. If I park in the garage, I try to park all the way up to the top floor, take the stairs to go down. If I'm at work, if I can park far away from the door, I park far away from the door, and I walk as much as I can because I'm making conscious efforts to take steps. They say we're supposed to do 10,000 steps a day. Everybody can't do that. That's like 3 miles or 3.5 miles. But as long as you're making the effort, you could get to it. And I think that for me, it's changed my life. Like, I've with my waist beads, I help so many women, with just feeling confident in their self again, wanting to go on a weight loss journey. They get so happy when they lose the weight and they have to come back to me and put their beads back on. So this journey's been exciting, and I love it. I love it so much. Like, I just love it.
And you can hear the passion, guys. And that's one of the things of passion. Is about it. So I am so grateful to hear that. Like I said, I'm not against, listen, if at the end of the day you want to do plastic surgery. However, I do know that it doesn't fix internally what's inside, because some people are still depressed. And I wanted to give a few tips because, as you know, one of the biggest things in our culture that we don't like to talk about, and I know it's like it always gets swept under the rug because I know how our people are, is we have problems with cardiovascular disease a lot of times, diabetes. We also have problems when we catch gout and different things, and a lot of this is controlled by our diet. One thing I learned about people, and I'm not talking about no one specifically, so I'm talking about what I learned about people is like, people don't really like change. What do you think what made your commitment so different? I'm sorry for you. Was it pain? What was it? What do you think it was? What was your why? Like, my
why, I feel, because I'm only 32. So I feel like I had to really step back and look at my life, and I feel like I was living for other people, and I wasn't living for myself. Although I went to college and, did the things that you're supposed to do. But for me, mentally, like, I haven't done anything for myself. And it was huge for me to be like, I'm going to keep this commitment. Like, once I learned that I was able to discipline, let me go back. Discipline and consistency is like the biggest thing in everything in life. So I told myself, if I'm able to lose 50 pounds, what else can I do in my life? Like, what else can I do? You understand? Like, how much more, how further can I push myself? Like, what can I actually do if I'm this disciplined and consistent with working out? Who women, we Some women don't like to sweat. We don't like to to work out and stuff. Some women loves to do it, but I'm changing the way that I'm eating. I'm stopping the drinking. Like, whoa, what am I doing? I'm making a commitment to myself, and I said, okay, if you're going to do this commitment, make sure you stay consistent. Make sure you're dedicated. Make sure you put in the hard work. Make sure you keep it up. So when you look back, you can say, I always tell myself this: your whole life could change in 365 days. Your whole life could change in a year. And I proved that to myself. My life changed. My life changed in a whole year. And I said, if I could do that, then I could know I could put in every other aspect of my life. And that's how I started my business. I was like, people was asking me about my beads. I always knew I wanted to do a business. I was like, well, if I want to do a business, let me do it with something that I love. I figured it out and I started doing it. And it just started booming from there. So I just feel like if you could be consistent, you could work hard towards it and be dedicated to something that you truly want, I'm telling you, it's life-changing. Woo. And that's with anything in your life. That could be with the smallest thing. If you say, I'm going to get up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, you tell yourself for the next 6 months, I'm going to wake up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then you just naturally start doing it. You like, whoa, well, what else can I do? And then you just move on to the next thing because you done trained your brain that I could be consistent with something that I want. So if I'm consistent with something that I want, I could do anything. That's how I feel.
And guys, this is why it's important that we get more selection from the ladies. Listen, ladies, I'm not against y'all twerking, but this is why you need balance, guys, because certain women have different gifts and purposes and callings on their life. Mm-hmm. So you can't judge one person because they act this way or they don't act that way. Nah, ain't nothing wrong with having certain women show out. This is why I broadcast both. And it's not to put one against another. No, I don't want that, he's disciplined. No, it's about y'all seeing that different people have different purposes and calling. And don't always try to label somebody something because you don't know what God has them doing and preparing. And that's why I had to bring her on.
But I just want to say, too, I love twerking. I just came from out of town and I was twerking. We love to have fun with us women. But listen.
He sees a black man shooting basketballs, running football. When a black man tries to break a certain barrier, what do most people say? Mm-hmm. So this isn't about putting one and two. Of course, just like me, shoot. But at the end of the day, it's about you knowing who you are and sticking to your values and knowing that's fun. But at the end of the day, I know who I am. That's all I'm saying.
It's called balance. That's it.
That's all I'm saying.
Balance. But I understand there's people and women out there, who I feel like social media videos and the culture and everything plays a huge part in it. But there are women out there who knows how to balance it.
Exactly.
That knows how to, they could go to their 9 to 5, be an entrepreneur, be a mom, but also when they go out to the club, they show their man a good time, So it's all a balance. I think it's all a balance.
That's all I was saying, though.
I'm just making sure.
Well, yeah, so like I said, we're about to finish and wrap up soon. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips before we go to our next, which is for my fellas, guys, I don't care. We're pushing ourselves. We're going to level up. We're going to be high value men. We're going to listen to what these women are saying, but we also going to take control. We're going to be the ones to take control as well. So I'm challenging every man that listens to me, work out 4 to 5 times a day a week if you can, or 3 to 4. That's one thing I've been doing to help me lose my weight. Number 2, I'm going to make a better video for this, but I'm going to give you some tips. Control your eating. And guys, like she was saying, discipline. Guys, meal prep. Meal prep. Not only does that save you money, and it don't make you broke because you want to save money. Not only does it save you money, but you create a routine and a habit. So when you do get those urges to want to do things or eat bad, you don't have it no more. Number 3, accountability partner. If you can't find one, guys, well, make one. Go on the internet, do something. But find an accountability partner that's going to push you, and don't be afraid to just say, no, man, to the hell with it. I'm going to do it because this is what I want. I'm sorry, I don't know about you. I just like looking good. I like feeling confident. I like being the person that can inspire and help others. Okay? So with that, we're going to our last topic. Go ahead.
In reference to accountability, I didn't have accountability partner.
Me neither, but
I started by myself.
It sounded good.
I started but no, accountability is very important because holding yourself accountable, you and God can have a conversation. That's what my thing was walk and talk to God. Anybody who knows me, that was my thing. I have music,
Yep.
I walk and talk to God. So whatever it could be, you need to find, my brother also told me this, you need to find your own frequency. Like if you don't know how to be by yourself, if you don't know how to shut off everything and just be to yourself and listen to the chaos and the noise and the thoughts that you have in your brain, that's a problem, and you should learn how to fix that. And maybe exercising could help you with that. Maybe driving in the car by yourself, driving without the music could fix that. Maybe taking a shower without any music or any chaos could help fix that. But I feel like everybody needs to learn how to be in their own frequency and not need to be around someone, because there's people who do not know how to be alone. And if you don't know how to be alone, how could you always want to be around someone? Like if I don't know if you leave me, how can I function? That means I can't function. I need somebody to be there with me. It shouldn't be like that. You came into this world by yourself. You should learn how to be by yourself. And you're going to die by yourself.
You can't be happy by yourself. How you going to be happy in a relationship? Exactly. You can't get what you don't have. But we got to wrap it up. We got a couple more minutes. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the culture health. And why is that so important? Because as you know, there's been a lot of things in the news, from the shootings, the killings. We're hearing food shortages. We're hearing now there's a massacre in New York. Not a massacre, but a couple shootings. And just a lot of chaos lately. Like, how can we as people come together? And I was just thinking a couple tips. One thing we can do is being more aware. Learning to save and invest your money. Again, guys, I have a coaching business, a counseling if you need that. I also have a therapy background where I teach people how to manage their money, right? Teach them about good credit. Teach them about land, owning some land, starting to own things and thinking outside the box. As you say, changing your frequency. And why is that so important? Because one of the things that gets people in trouble is because they're unprepared. It's no different than a test. Mm-hmm. Trust me, when you didn't study for that test, when you didn't do what you needed to do, you don't have that much anxiety. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I believe that's just the end. Before we end, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I want to thank you for bringing me on. I love talking about my journey. I love, spreading, positivity to people. I feel like we all need it as people. If you don't have somebody that's positive in your life, find that friend, that family member, the church person, whoever it could be, to bring some positivity in your life and hold you accountable. Set your goal, make a plan, follow through with it. I'm a visionary, so when I see things, I take it and I go with it. But if you don't have that, if you don't have that consistency, hard work, and dedication, I'm a big Nipsey fan, so that's why I keep saying that. So if you don't have those things, it is difficult to thrive in life and thrive how you will want to thrive in life. So I would just suggest to everyone to don't forget your purpose, to try to find your purpose, and just go for it. Take your dreams and go for it, because the only person who's stopping you is you. Nobody else is stopping you but you. So that's my leave off. And if you can follow me on my Instagram, my business is 3, the number 3, the letter L, waist beads and jewelry, and you can follow me on there.
Woo! And trust me, when she gets her own therapy business, I'm speaking into existence. But I don't want to say nothing, because she's very shy. But I'm going to speak to this for her. That's how it works. Let other people praise you.
Thank you.
So definitely look out for that. Like I said, I wanted to give both perspectives. As myself, I have my own coaching, counseling business. I've been helping people all nationwide. I'm trying to get global now. That's my next thing. Mm-hmm. Global, where we can help people and touch people, because I believe a lot of people need positive mentors, therapists, coaches, counselors. Also, guys that have different businesses, just go on my IG, IAMKINGKLAUS. Look at the link tree. You can see all the different businesses I do to serve you guys. I believe that I was born to serve. I believe in, helping people. I have an entrepreneur spirit. I done helped so many people, and I'm just looking to help more. Also, we're going to have a new collection coming out very soon, so get ready. Also, we got a different colorways. We're about to be shouted out and put in different music videos. All glory to God. So, like I said, with that, I'm out! right. Any last words before we out?
Yes,
You gotta click the
do
button.
not be afraid of therapy. Go to therapy, people. If you need it, go to therapy. If you know somebody who needs it, go to therapy.
Go to therapy.
If you know someone who's risking their life in reference to suicide, there's a crisis intervention line, so give them a call. They're 24 hours, and you can help somebody out. Do not let your friends suffer because you don't deserve it, and they don't either.
Woo! Follow I Am King Klaus. Check out my YouTube, I Am King Klaus. I'm in different social medias. I'm one of the realest. I'm out.